Hello everybody, this is a short video on Brunswick Newport versus the Brunswick Saratoga. It's a short comparison, and I use the information from Brunswick, specifically the Brunswick website, and their description under their antique tables page of the Newport and of the Saratoga. So from the Brunswick website, the Saratoga and the Newport, there's both constructed under 18 patents. Both are available in golden oak and mahogany. One is considered, the Saratoga is considered a high quality table from their website. The Newport is considered an economical table. Saratoga first class construction. Newport modified from Saratoga and a less expensive construction. So, you really don't know what that means. You can look at the table and you could have different opinions, but it's very subjective. Saratoga, 1-inch slate. It does have the optional 1.5-inch slate bed, whereas the Newport, there is no mention of the 1.5-inch slate bed. But most people wouldn't know, whether they have a 1-inch or 1.5-inch, so that's really not a good indication either of whether it's a Saratoga or a Newport. Both have monarch rails, both have rosewood veneer tops, so the tables are very similar. But there is one note on the Saratoga from the Brunswick website that I think really tells the story. And that is at the very end of the Saratoga description, under method of construction, they talk about heavy iron bolts holding the framework to the head block and legs. And to me, that really does, when they don't have that on the Newport and they have that on the Saratoga, and then you look at the construction, that right there tells me that that is an indication of a Saratoga, is heavy iron bolts holding the framework to the head block and legs. And I'll show you what I mean. So here we have two tables. One is a Saratoga and one is a Newport. Really can't tell the difference between them by looking at them outside. They both have the same kind of style of frame, where you kind of have this beveled kind of frame action going, where it's kind of a bowl. You have the same trim strip, egg and dart along the rails. You have really intricate trim strip along the frame. One is golden oak, one is mahogany. But if you remember from the Brunswick website, the difference is really in construction. One is a heavy-duty construction, and the other one is a economical construction. And I will show you what I mean. So here is the underside of one of the tables, and you'll see these heavy iron bolts that are holding the framework together. There's 3 bolts, and there's one large bolt holding the leg assembly together, the leg. This is exactly what Brunswick mentioned on their website as indicative of the Brunswick Saratoga. Very solid construction with heavy iron bolts. This table, if you look underneath, has no iron bolts holding the framework together. There's a small block in the upper corner with 2 screws and a bolt holding the leg assembly together with a zert. No iron bolts. I would say this is a Brunswick Newport based on the Brunswick website. So again, I probably don't need to review this again, but the Saratoga and the Newport, one is a high quality table, first class construction. The other one is an economical table modified from the Saratoga, less expensive construction. And the Saratoga has the iron bolts holding the framework and the head block and legs. So again, looking at the tables side by side, you can't tell the difference between the Brunswick Newport and the Brunswick Saratoga. What you need to do is climb up underneath the tables and look for those iron bolts holding the framework and the legs together. If you have that, you have a Saratoga.